Hi, hello, welcome back. This is TK, and this is my totally unasked for opinion, thoughts, and observations about the Donner Party. Please enjoy. So, my thoughts. I'm going to start with the trip to the Sierra Mountains. Starts off with Hastings Cutoff. And you might wonder why I'm saying that. I'm saying that because they were reading about the Hastings Cutoff before they left Illinois. Because, yeah, the Hastings was like putting out a lot of literature and stuff, and about the adventures and about how easy it was and this, that, and the other. And yeah, it got a lot of people excited to go and steal native people's land and establish little homesteads. And yeah, so they packed up and decided to leave, and they did have Hastings literature with them when they left. So yeah, that's the first part. A little bit about the Hastings thing. Hastings, he was a fucking bastard. He really was. He was a profiteer. He profiteered off the killing of native peoples and off innocent white folk that wanted to establish little homesteads for themselves and have their little American dream. And he profited off this, and he helped murder. He helped kill tens of peoples. I can't remember the exact number of how many were in the Donner Party that actually passed away right now. But yeah, he definitely contributed to that. And they were definitely, the Donner Reed Party was definitely following his advice. I'm not going to go too far into that bit, but that was kind of like, they were kind of screwed from the get-go. After they left Illinois, they started out a lot bigger, a lot larger of a party than they ended up. And the reason why is because part of the immigrants were heading to California, and the other part was going to Oregon. And most of the way was the same way, but there was like contentions between the parties, like really early on. And the book that Eliza's book, The Expedition of the Donner Party and Its Tragic Fate, she describes how, like, really early on, like, within the first few chapters, so, like, before they get to, like, independence, they are, like, having disputes and, like, agreeing to ride in separate stages so that, like, part of the party is, like, well, starts off before the other party, so there's like separation between the two. It's not a cohesive group that leaves in the first place. And then kind of midway in between all this, between leaving and getting to the mountains, there's a murder. But actually, there's a couple murders. One definite. It's complicated, but 2 people die under, like, contentious circumstances. One involves Keseberg, who is usually painted as the villain of the story. Keseberg is kind of questioned in one of them, but then later on, one man kind of recants and kind of says, hey, I was the guy that, stole this other guy's weapons and killed him. Keseberg didn't do it. But still, the majority of the history, says that Keseberg did do this, kill this man and then stole his stuff, and yeah. But I don't know, Keseberg is a thing. I'm going to be talking about Keseberg later on. He definitely deserves his own little section. But the Reed murder. Reed was co-leader of the Donner Party, the wagon train, and he was very much looked up to. He was a stand-up guy. But yeah, he got involved in an altercation, and there's like varying stories about what exactly happened, but he ended up stabbing another guy in the chest in defense of his wife, and the party at large decided to send him off on his way instead of like killing him, because ironically enough, Keseberg again, he was like really, really pushing toward hanging Reed right there on the spot, but luckily that didn't happen. So Reed actually left the whole party, kind of, I would say right after they like passed Utah. So they just passed the they just finished the Hastings cutoff pretty much, and everybody's like really pissed off, really tired at this point and irritable. So yeah, shit happens. So yeah, they send him off, and he ends up making it over the pass and actually going across the mountains and making it to California and Sutter's Fort, which is important, and I'll mention that later. But that actually caused a lot of contention in the group too. So nobody was really feeling it. No, I mean, they hadn't been feeling it for months. I mean, the whole group, the whole train, everybody just wanted the journey over. They just wanted it done. Yeah, and as they were running through the stolen land, the indigenous peoples were like kind of not giving them the best welcome. Some tribes were more welcoming than others, but yeah, a lot of cattle were lost, and yeah, a lot of livestock was lost on the journey from Utah, from the Hastings cutoff to the mountains as well. Some families actually lost all their cattle, so that really put a deficit on them during the winter, which takes account for what happens later. So yeah, they didn't help them out at all. That was before the mountains. Yeah, and then once they get through here, they get to the mountains, and they see that there's a storm on the mountains, and snow starts falling in the pass. And honestly, I would have hunkered down. I wouldn't have gone up. I would not have gone up. I would be like, you know what? We need a rest. I'm tired. I'm irritable. We've had murders. I got my family here. I don't want to go across these fucking mountains. But they decide to head on up, and the pass is closed. Which brings me to the rescue parties, which I'm going to cover in the next section. Yeah, so basically, long story short, they're kind of messed up and screwed from the beginning, before they even left, their little homesteads and the old countries. They were pretty messed up. And yeah, yeah, that's it.